No, my lord.
Which
It was
occurred
told-
again in
the
it was
breach
delayed
occurred
to
in
Patna.
OIC school, but relate to Patna.
where these problem solving, etc. took place.
Problem solving also took place in Hazaribagh, my lord.
Hazaribagh.
Only there were two groups of candidates. One beneficiary group was in Hazaribagh, where the problem solving also took place in another floor of the same building.
Right.
And the first floor, girl candidates, female candidates were there. In the second floor, male candidates were there. In the third floor, the solvers were there. All the 7, 8 solvers were together along with the gang.
Without
And-
telephones, without their.
And neither the candidates nor the solvers were allowed to bring the phones into that particular location. And after this solution, again, digital image was taken and it was transmitted to Patna Learns Boys High School, where one of the gang members of the accused is present.
And you recovered this burnt thing from
From Patna,
From Patna.
from that school, Learns Boys High School.
oh, I see.
Where there were 25 candidates.
Distributed this in the classroom.
Yes, sir.
So that person also.
The
couldn't
invigilator
realize
also did
that
not,
the seal
That
is
this has been
tempered.
again
Yeah, he did not
re-
mind.
resealed with a lighter. Because if you
No, the big
if you reseal any plastic with a lighter, it will have burnt marks.
My lord,
Obviously.
yes. These are 72 question papers, ma'am. This 4, 5 such packets are kept in a trunk. This has got 3 packets of 24 question papers each, inside separately packed. Now on this, the invigilator and center superintendent have to sign that when we are opening, there is no tampering. So though there was a tampering and burnt from one side and again refixed,
One paper.
and one paper removed and replaced, they have signed because the center superintendent and the city coordinator were also part of the conspiracy.
Well, interrogated that person.
They arrested, yes.
We arrested, sir.
He is also part and parcel of this.
Yes, yes, he took money. He took money.
So center superintendent and the coordinator were part of this.
Yes, sir. Yes, my lord.
They are
were
arrested. They are in
Both were
custody.
arrested. Apart from that, there is one more middleman who was a bridge between the gang and these two. And the conspiracy was hatched almost 2-3 months prior to the actual stealing, because they will have to identify one vulnerable center who is ready to accept and give the access.
But one question I had was, once they had this conspiracy about 2 or 3 months back, how is it that they confined the conspiracy to such a small group of people? Human greed otherwise is that he would want to maximize the profits which he's going to make from the conspiracy. Why did they then only confine themselves to say 25 students?
No, my lord, we have given,
Once they had invested, once they could have
we have given the figure in para number
155.
Para number
for
113.11.
155 students.
Yes. Well, what happens is, Manoj, since they don't want the paper to go or their identity to be revealed to many people and exposing them to be arrested in advance, they go to the people, my lord, 1-to-1. And those who fall into the trap, they give post-dated checks and some amount in advance. We have recovered the post-dated checks also. So post-dated checks now cannot be encashed. We have recovered them.
The money is not collected in one trance, my lord. Initially, one token advance is taken, so the candidate is permitted to gain access to that particular location where they're going to distribute the salt paper. Now, he doesn't know whether this is the content which is going to come in the exam. So once he comes out of the examination center, then only he confirms that, yes, what you gave me yesterday is the one, or what you gave me today morning is the one which came.
But there's no evidence to indicate that the conspiracy was wider, at least in Jharkhand and Bihar.
No, my lord. What we found so far was that there were 2 locations in Hazaribagh where this was shared after solving, and 1 location in Patna where this was shared after solving. And within Patna, that group had a subgroup of 6 female candidates who came on 4th itself, so they didn't want to keep the boys and girls in the same, under the same roof, so they put it in one of the accused houses, those 6 girls, for the night. And next day morning, once it was stolen, photographed, It came to the solvers, they solved it. Then again, a scanned copy was generated, sent to Patna through WhatsApp, and their printouts were taken, about 15 copies of each set. Botany, zoology in first go, it came at around 10-15 hours, and the physics, chemistry came at about 10:35 to 10:40. So they took printouts and gave one copy to 2-3 group of candidates. Since the girls were there in the other house, from here one hard copy was taken to that
Now,
house.
what about these statements which were recorded by the Economic Offences Unit in Bihar,
My lord,
saying that leak 4 तारीख के रात को हुआ था,
my lord,
on the 4th of May.
yes, yes.
And there seems to be an improvement in their subsequent statements when they say the leak took place between that morning hours on the
Not
5th.
only that, my lord, in the file which we has given to the court, my lord, page number 5,
Which one?
the Bihar report.
Bihar. Bihar wala page.
So in fact, first it was Bihar local police, then Bihar EOU.
EOU.
Lord, local police, my lord, it seems, I was shown yesterday, have, Lord, recorded in a cut-paste mode, my lord. So once a paragraph, my lord, is added in every.
Because, you know, we saw the statement of Anurag Yadav. You will find it at page 132 of the file. Nitish Kumar at page 92 of the file. And Amit Anand at 88 of the file.
My lord, Anurag Yadav at page 113 it is there, and 129 also it is there, my lord. But
It's a repetition.
before that, my lord, in this report, if my lordship may go to page number 5. Page number 5. This is the consolidated status report prepared by EOU one day before it was handed over to CBI, my lord. In that last paragraph,
It's 3 lines.
last 3 lines, my lord. Page number 5.
Now, the relay from Hazaribagh to Patna
Is through
was
WhatsApp.
through the mobile of one of these persons who took a picture of the scanned answer sheets and sent us the solved answer sheets and sent them. Now, has that mobile been seized?
No, my lord. They have destroyed some of the gadgets, and yesterday we recovered some of them. Now we have to examine them forensically, whether these were this set of mobiles yesterday we recovered were from the same gang. But whether the same instruments were used for this offense or not has to be ascertained from FSL report.
And perhaps the FSL report will indicate as to whether this was sent only to Patna or did it go somewhere else also?
It will, if the WhatsApp chats are not deleted, then we will know where all it has gone. But apparently from the interrogation, they have destroyed those mobiles after the offense. The main core group, the fringe elements, 18 mobiles were recovered, my lord. That FSL report has come.
Yesterday, somewhere I was reading while we were.
Para 50.
I didn't flag that page.
Para,
That they
para
threw it
51.
into the river or something.
Para 51, para 51.
From some water body.
Para 51 may kindly be seen, my lord, in our report. Para 51.
First report.
First report. Para numbers are in seriatim, my lord. Para 51. Para 51, last 3 lines, my lord. Sorry, para 52, my lord. Para 52, last 3 lines.
50 if you can.
52. Para 52. It also may be seen, my lord.
Back to this page 21 of your report.
Yes, my lord.
report.
Yes.
This is a work of an amateur. Professional would not commit this mistake. You would ensure that the entire paper is burned.
Shredded.
You got the clue, the first clue, because of these numbers.
Yes, my lord.
These numbers are to be found where on this booklet?
Yes, inside every page it will be there.
Inside.
Yes.
Your lordship
On the
can-
top also, on the top left corner, it is there, my lord.
Your lordships can open it, but this is used paper, so it can be opened.
On the top left
But your
corner.
lordship will have to tear it. It cannot be opened the way we open, my lord, the glued envelope.
You don't need a scissor.
No, you don't need a scissor. You are not supposed to be having a scissor as a student.
What was done is, with the camera in the mobile, it was clicked and a hard copy was downloaded. So this is that hard copy
Yes,
which
yes.
has been
That's
downloaded.
the reason why the girl student got her own paper that was earmarked to her.
So what was the idea in clicking this part, this part?
It's on every page.
It's on every page, my lord.
He doesn't have a choice.
Entire booklet was photographed?
Each
by-
page,
Each page.
each page.
Thereafter, it was put back in the envelope and tried to reseal with lighter.
As per the CCTV footage, my lord, he had 1 hour, 20 minutes. Yes. Even the OMR sheet will have the same number, my lord. The OMR sheet and question paper are matched. They come in the same packet.
Lord, as my lord
Same room.
What is the nature of the forensic evidence that we have in regard to the, the transmission of the data on the fact that there was a leak? We now know that there was a leak.
And my lord,
What we are unsure about is what time the leak took place and to what extent was the leak. Now, the leak there is a leak, according to the investigation, the leak takes place at Hazaribagh. Now, the solved question paper is then transmitted by electronic mode to Patna. Now, do we have any forensic evidence to indicate how that data was transferred and to which phones the data was transferred?
yeah, I'll answer that, my lord. Before that, this is the report of the Patna police, my lord, which has been submitted, page number 43, 44. There are more number of burnt pieces. If my lordship can...
semi-burnt.
Semi-burnt pieces. In all those, the same serial number is figuring, which we have shown it here.
This is
So
solved.
that means
And
of
that
the,
serial number is of the school.
of the Oasis Center.
Same girl.
Right, the center.
Same girl, my lord, same
Now,
number.
that means, my lord, all these burnt pieces belong to one question paper. It is not that 4-5 question papers were stolen and burnt, because the serial number then has to be different on each piece of paper. Okay,
The question paper will have the center number and the serial number of the question paper itself.
serial number of the question
So
paper.
it has two things, the center number and the serial number of the question paper.
Yes, my lord.
And there's only one which has been.
Now, for a moment, my lord, supposing we say that this serial number paper got leaked on 4th itself, for example. One student. Now, if supposing this paper has got leaked on the previous day itself, on 4th, one of the learned counsels for the petitioner was also mentioning, and there was a confusion in regard to Anurag Yadav's statement also. We have CCTV footage of the main accused Pankaj Kumar alias Aditya, who has been arrested right now in our custody, that he has accessed the strong room of Oasis Center as per CCTV footage between 8:02 to 9:23 a.m. on 5th. So that was the time when he has access to this particular serial number.
That CCTV footage is from where? When he's entering, when he's leaving, or when?
Both.
With
Entering into the control room where the trunks were placed, and exit from the control room where the trunks were placed. And the photograph of both the trunks before it was locked, the control room was locked after they were brought from the safe vault of the bank. And when they were opened again for all other witnesses and all, that photographs also we have given, my lord, in.
And the control room is under, the lock of the control room is in whose custody?
My lord, there are 2 doors to the control room,
Right.
this particular control room. The front door was locked in front of everybody and the key was with the center superintendent. But the inside bolt of the rear door was kept deliberately open by the central superintendent as well as the city coordinator as part of the conspiracy.
To allow somebody to.
To allow somebody to enter. And this person whom I named just now was sitting in the staff room, whose door is just adjacent to this rear door of the control room. It is hardly 2 steps to open the other door and enter this door. So 7:53, the front door of the control room is locked and everybody goes to inspect the examination halls, etc. From the rear door at 8:02, this man enters.
Only a minute. At this juncture, please see second status report, page 11.
So this man enters at about 8:03, about 8 o'clock.
8:02.
8:02, he enters from behind. That is recorded, movement is recorded on the CCTV. And he leaves at about 8:23.
8:23. 9:23.
So he's inside for almost 1.5 hours.
Because, my lord, there are 7 layers of packing. What we showed, my lordship, is only an individual question paper which comes in this packet of 72 questions. And this is again put in a trunk. Then trunk has 2 locks in the front. And trunk is put in another carton box where the image can be seen at page number 11 of the second status
If you
report.
open the trunk from behind.
He has opened the trunk
Rivets
from behind.
behind.
The rivets.
How did he use that? What kind of equipment did he have to open the trunk?
He had an exhaustive toolkit bag. The bag was kept in the control room by the center superintendent on the 4th.
Security surrounding that control room where the trunks were placed.
My lordship, it's the responsibility of the center superintendent itself.
He is a party to this.
He has a party to it. He kept that
So he kept the toolkit in that.
which is given by same accused 2 days prior, and he keeps it there. This man he doesn't carry the toolkit because he comes out empty-handed. That is also said. He just clicks on his phone, digital photographs, and walks off. He enters the campus at 7:12 and goes into the staff room and sits there. At 8:02, he enters the control room,
7 a.m.
and 9:23, he exits the control room, and 9:24, he exits the center
But
itself.
how do we sort of hypothesize that this main accused Pankaj, that he sent the images of he first took a photograph, then he takes it to the problem solvers.
He sends it immediately after he exits the campus to the problem solvers. Where
Problem solvers are also in Hazaribagh.
they are in Hazaribagh in a guest house called, which is named in our report, my lord, on the 3rd floor.
Now,
And there is a
Is that-
printer there.
right, and from once they are solved by the problem solvers, they are remitted by whom? Again, by the same accused?
By the same accused.
To Patna.
Pankaj also goes to that same location.
And
And
then
they
sent
have
it
a
to Patna.
group of several people there, about 9 persons.
How do we rule out this, that Pankaj may have sent it to other locations also?
But so far, from the investigation and interrogation of the accused, we found only 4 locations, my lord, 2 in Patna, 2 in Hazaribagh. And the top gangster is somebody. Below that, there are about 5 main persons, out of which 3 we have arrested and they are in our custody. And we have interrogated them. And below that, they have some people who mobilize the candidates, some people who identify the safe house, some people who
Is the top gangster also in custody or no?
not yet.
Solvers are in custody. How did the solvers actually transmit? They were solving. Were they solving the questions
Solvers-
digitally? They were solving them on paper. What were they doing?
Yeah, my lord. For example, if my lordship may see page 50 and 51, you can see the tick marks on the hard copy, half burnt papers. The size of this tick mark is different from the size of the tick mark which we recovered from the candidate, the girl candidate of Oasis. She has put a small tick. And in that, for every question, there is only one tick, what she thought it was the correct answer. So this tick is on another hard copy,
No, one clarification.
on a printout.
The man enters that control room, what control room?
Control room they call it. It's a hall.
According to you, sir, he was in that room for 1 hour and
20
minutes.
minutes, 21 minutes.
He must have taken time to open the trunk from behind. He took out one question paper which unfortunately was given to that girl. Then he clicks pictures on his mobile. From his mobile, he forwards it to the solvers.
Not to the solvers, my lord. He forwards it to one of their own counterpart who is with the solvers physically.
Physical acts. He forwards it to acts. Acts is in company of the solvers at the guest house.
Yes, ma'am.
Then he must have parted that with the solvers.
He takes a hard printout.
This is that burnt thing is the hard print.
Printout.
One-
Called printout.
1 second, my lord.
Okay.
The
So
sol-
after the solvers solve the question paper,
It's again scanned
By whom?
by the same accused who were
Okay.
there with him.
Oh, the
Pankaj
other
also
person
is,
was
other
there.
person.
Pankaj is also there.
Pankaj is also.
And this scanned copy, we know, has been sent to Patna.
Yes.
It is
And
also
also to one other location.
another center in Hazaribagh
Yes.
and to Patna. But we have, how do we sort of conclusively say that this scanned copy has been sent to no other centers other than one more at Hazaribagh and one at Patna?
My lord,
So we
from-
have no forensic, we don't have forensic data to, if we had forensic data, then there would be electronic footprints that this was sent to this was sent to this number, this was sent to this number.
That is why I gave the figures, because the time available for them to impart this, Lord, whatever they have stolen, was hardly 1.5 hours to 2 hours. And therefore, even the students who are now caught, those who are beneficiaries according to us,
Because you know what?
they also did not fare well.
Earlier we thought that, that after he takes the photographs, that he comes to the center at about 9:30 and 45 minutes is given to the problem solvers. No, the problem solvers probably got the question paper at 8:30 itself.
no, my lord, at around 9:24, after he comes out, he transmits it as per the
That's the statements of
interrogation statements. Of,
These are the statements.
His mobile is not available and that co-conspirator in Hazaribagh,
Hazaribagh's guest house is not so far away. Even the person who received, we have arrested in Hazaribagh. Yes.
Right up to line.
Come to it separately. Now, my lord, your lordships are examining an issue where approximately 24 lakh students are involved. My lord, the total number of centers are 4,750. When your lordships examine, my lord, whether there is a pan-India cross-country impact or not, my lord, this would be a relevant figure.
Yes, sir. Mr. Huda, I know that you are very energetic, but you can please sit on the chair. Why do you have to stand? Tell your juniors also to sit on the chair. It causes me less stress when everybody is comfortably seated in the chair. So the juniors have some chairs there. There are some chairs with the locklets. They're all not here, so you can come and sit here. Please sit quietly and listen to it in peace. Yes.
Yes. But, my lord, nonetheless, we must satisfy your lordship's conscience from the figures and statistics. Not, my lord, somebody tells us something, some social media post, which we will show, my lord, how social media posts like Telegram, etc. My lord, from evidence, my lord, we will be able to show how they are tempered. But leave it at that, my lord, for the time being. We will have to satisfy your lordships that pan-India, cross-country, there is no impact and the result has remained consistent. But at the outset, I may point out that top 100 students, look, this is the test of a fair examination being conducted. Top 100 students are spread over 95 centers. '56 cities and 18 states and or union territories.
Yes.
Lord, this is, according to me, my lord, the first prime test. That first 100, if I have the paper, if my group has the paper, it would be a bulk of people topping the exam. Because if I have the questions, I have the answers, obviously.
Now, just one thing we wanted to ask you. In this top 100, do we have any students coming from, say, Hazaribagh?
Yes, I'll show everything.
You'd like to see?
Yes, my lord. And I will also show what was the position.
Sikar, Hazaribagh.
Yeah, yes. Look, what I have also not done, we have done an exercise as to what was the position of those centers in 2022, 2023, and 2024. Whether there is any marked jump or rise or not. Well, that would be the only indication for deciding cross-country impact, if at all there is any impact. My lord, we have filed, my lord, submissions, my lord. Lord, it is mailed to your lordships, but for ready reference, I can. I have, my lord, the hard copies as well.
Located. Written submission. Yes.
Lord, I would start from, Lord, how the examination is conducted. There is a concept called percentile, and there was a confusion. That confusion remained, and unfortunately, young children are, my lord, unnecessarily tensed because of wrong narrative which is going on. The narrative was that for centers like Rajkot, more than 30 candidates were qualified. General impression was that if you are qualified, you are getting admission in the medicine, in the course of your choice. Lord, there has always been, and this year also, a system of coming to a figure called percentile. A percentile is a figure, after we get the result, it is fed into the computer system, and we request that we want 50% percentile. It can be 60, it can be 70, depending upon the nature, but in this exam, it has always been 50%. So it gave us the figure of 164. It merely means in common parlance that out of 24 lakh students, I'm taking a rough figure, it's 23 lakh something. Out of 24 lakh students, 12.5 lakhs would be below 164 and 12.5 lakhs would be above 164. Those who are above 164 are qualified and rest of them are not qualified. So all those 12.5 lakhs would not get admission.
So the cutoff marks for the 50th percentile is 164 out of 72.
Correct. For the purpose of qualification, I'll tell you, Lordship, the reason why this is done.
Is always taken as a 50th percentile or what is it?
Percentile, yes.
Year on year.
Year on year, Manoj. Last year it was 137, which indicates that this year number of students increased. Number two, maybe this batch of students of 24 lakhs was little more hardworking And third, the syllabus was sliced down. But nothing turns on that, Manoj. Last time it was 1/3. So 12.5 lakhs are qualified. Seats are 1,08,000 only. Why this was required to be done? Manoj, it was noticed years back that I'm sorry.
So 12.5 lakh students are 50th percentile and above.
Above, and therefore qualified. Roughly, 12.5 is, I have taken the figure of 24 lakhs, it is 23 lakhs something. 37, whatever. I'm just for the purpose of ease of argument. Now, why this was required? Years back it was found that some private medical colleges, your lordships are aware, there are some management seats, management quota seats. They used to be filled up by people who are not even qualified, who got 50 marks or 70 marks. Therefore, this system was introduced that we will come out with a figure of percentile and qualification. They are eligible. They are eligible to be admitted either in government medical college or in private medical college. So now, even a private medical college in their management quota cannot take anyone who is less than 12,50,000 because they are not qualified. So Rajkot had 30 people who are qualified, meaning thereby they were above 12,50,000 figure. Not that they will get admission. Lord, we have done that analysis. Please see page 13 of my note. Just to remove that narration, my learned friend has very fairly not argued this issue, but please see 13. First, I have given, your lordship sees right hand side, I have gone from top to bottom. That's why, states are also, coming not at the same time. Gujarat, Bhavnagar, total appeared 5,800, greater or equal to 164, 4,660. Therefore, success ratio, meaning thereby success for being declared qualified, not admission, is 80.34%. Next is Andhra Pradesh, Vijayawada, then Rajasthan, Sikar, then Gujarat, Rajkot, Andhra Pradesh, Tanuku, etc., etc., etc. It goes on, and I'm not taking your lordships through the entire country and entire city wise.
Done this for every
city.
For every city.
Every city.
Actually, you've done it for every city or state. How does it work? For every
city. This is done city wise. Okay. But center wise also, wherever they have.
Because no,
it's city wise or center wise.
Bhavnagar is the city.
But it is city wise, arranged in descending order. This is only to remove an impression that those.
How many cities totally?
571.
So this data is for all the 571.
571. Cities, 569. I stand corrected. 569. We have centers at some other countries also. For example, page 13, your lordships would find serial number 6, Dubai. Dubai has a center where we conduct the exam. Muscat, Singapore. So, including the outs.
Also have Doha, Sharjah.
Yes,
Kuwait.
Yes, so, adding them also, the total cities, I'll treat them as city, as a, right. So it is a center. 569. The lowest is Chhattisgarh, Narayanpur, with 8.6%.
Right.
This is the limited purpose, to show that more number of people getting qualified doesn't mean that they are getting admission.
They are just above the 50th percentile. That's
yes, they have crossed 12 lakhs mark. That's all. But kindly now come to page 28.
This annexure A began at what page? Sunjita? So I
13, my lord. 1, 3, and it goes on till 27. Annexure B, my lord. It's not annexure A, annexure B. It goes on till 27. I'm not, my lord, reading, it's not necessary, my lord, but descending order, we have given, my lord, the number of students who qualified.
Maybe come to 72%.
But, But the moment your lordship goes further, the lordship would realize, my lord, that how that number also decreases, those who are likely to get admission. Lord, your lordships would find judger at page 14, my lords. Serial number 69. It has 59% students qualify. Yes. Lord, before I take your lordships to the next annexure, Lord, kindly allow me to place only one fact, Lord, which is an accepted fact in public domain. But there are certain centers like Kota, Sikar, Kottayam in south, Rajkot. There are several centers which are hubs of competitive examinations, coaching centers. My Lord, the word which generally, my Lord, the newspapers have used, factory, is possibly taken from a recent web series, Kota Factory.
They are HubSpots.
For coaching centers for entrance examinations or other examinations like UPSC. Kota is considered to be the best in UPSC, but UPSC, NEET, IIT, JEE, several competitive examinations.
Which are they? Kota, Sikar?
Kota, Sikar, Kottayam, Namakkal in Tamil Nadu, Rajkot in Gujarat,
Yes.
well, there are several coaching centers, several hostels, right from those who cannot afford, they would have their hostels. Those who can afford, they can have flats, they can hire flats. There are PG accommodations, but all essentially the entire economy is on students. They are given question papers every alternate day. Some dummy paper would be formed by the coaching classes, and they would be asked to appear in that examination. They are trained how to attempt those questions where you are very confident, thereafter to examine the questions where you have to give a little time, how to avoid negative marking, etc. So when a child sits in the actual examination, it is his 201st examination, hypothetical.
So the students who would really be sitting at those centers would not necessarily be students who are domiciled in that.
No.
They will be coming from outside.
They are mostly outside. Mostly outsiders, because now this has become a competitive field. So parents send their children. Whether I am preparing for a civil service or I am preparing for NEET, I'll go stay there for a year. I'll have coaching. I'll have a PG accommodation, hostel accommodation, etc., etc. And this is going on since many years. But still, there is no alarming rise from last year's to this year. But just I wanted to say that example of seeker, quota, etc. may not assist your lordships to arrive at a correct conclusion, because they are sui generis centers. What I would get, my lord, at say Jamnagar in Gujarat, some better, my lord, training is imparted in Kota, or in Sikar, or in Kottayam, or in Namakkal, etc., etc. But that also, now, my lord, what we have done is that I have told your lordships which number of students are above 12,50,000 and which are below. Now we forget those who are below. Out of 12,50,000, that is above percentile and who are qualified, how many students were qualified were getting admission last year, last to last year, and this year? Whether there is any unexplainable spurge, there is any increase, or any shocking development, that exercise we have done, which your lordships would find at page 28. My lord, your lordships would find the title is Table Showing City-Wise Success Rate. And if your lordships were to see, my lord, the subtitle, one is state, another is city. Number of candidates appeared in 2022. My lord, the fourth column. Your lordship gets that, my lord. Number of students appeared in 2022. Number of top 1,08,000 in that year. Then number of students appeared in 23. Similarly, number of top 10,800.
So when you say solicitor success rate, that is above the 50th percentile.
Yeah, no, it has to be. Look, these are all students who fall within
Qualified.
1 lakh, no, not, they are qualified. They are in 12,50,000.
They will be within the 1,08,000.
1,08,000. Exactly. I'm grateful to your lordships.
Percentage. Thousand consists of 56,000 government colleges
And 52,000 private colleges. I must tell your lordships one more thing. Just to, my lord, give your lordships the correct feel, what is the pan-India impact. I have not deducted the reserved seats. Reserved seats, my lord, the success rate would be, my lord, almost half. While I'll tell you, Lordship, Lord, out of 100 seats, 50 seats are reserved. SC, ST, OBC, and economically backward class. These are done, my lord, at the state level also. And some states, or maybe all states, some states at least have domicile reservation also. So out of 100 seats, the general category students, depending upon, my lord, which category they belong to, their available seat might be only 45 out of 100. But without touching that, out of 1,80,000, 4030, so if we count that, my lord, this 19.12 would go almost to 10% success rate, my lord, at an all India level. My lord, similarly, now see, my lord, first is Sikar, I have read, my lord, Andhra Pradesh, Tanuku. Total 972 students appeared in 2022. Your Lordship may kindly correlate with the heading.
Yes.
Total 179 in top 1,80,000, 8,000. So entitled to get admission subject to reservation, etc. Similarly, in 2023, total 168 students and entitled within 1,88,000 is 213. This year, total students appeared is 1,007 and entitled are 171. So it is lower than the last year. Even in Sikar, 2022, the success rate was 24.02, which is now down to 19.22. Rank.
To 3.94 and 2.05.
Yes. So one would not go from Gujarat to Belgaum, maybe some personal reasons I have not examined, but their success rate is 2.05. Nobody would go at a center Lord, similarly, I forgot, my lord, to show that to your lordships, my lord, in the annexure B, my lord, that percentile, my lord, this Bihar and Hazariganj, my lord, please come to page 17.
17.
17. But this is, I am showing percentile, those who are above 12 lakhs. Lord, 191. Bihar is at, this is seriatim, so it's ranked at 191. Patna, their qualifying rate, my lord, success rate is 49.22.
Where do you get that?
Lord, 191, serial number 191, para 7, page 17.
Patna. Success rate is...
Bihar, Patna, so many students appeared, so many cleared, so many became eligible, means more than 164.
They have 49.22.
49.22. Similarly, if your lordships were to, my lord, permit me to show, my lord, next page, Jharkhand Hazaribagh, 216. It is 47.68.
49.22.
Yes, my lords. Page 17.
Bihar, page 17, right?
17 is Jharkhand, Hazaribagh. 18. Page 17, your lordships are right. Patna, Bihar is page 17. And your lordships would find the average.
7.6.
Next is, above that is Punjab, 49.23. Below that is Chhattisgarh, 49.11. Gujarat, 49.10. Jharkhand, 49.07. They are in that bracket. They are not in the highest bracket of 80 plus. Then next page, my lord. Serial number 216. Jharkhand, Hazaribagh. Their success rate in the sense of, Lord,
47.68.
yeah, 46.6, 47.68. That is, they are above 164.
Yes, you got it.
Now, my lord, having shown this annexure B and C, Lord, please come to yes, last page, no, last. Lord, page 48. Lord, cities which were mentioned before your lordships, my lord.
Page 48.
48, annexure E. Lord, what your lordships have seen up till now is city-wise. Now the cities which were placed for your lordship's consideration based on some assumption, presumption without any evidence or even convincing material on record. We have done that center-wise also.
Sikar.
Sikar, my lords, yes. For example, this is Sikar. First is state. We can ignore that, my lord, because it is Rajasthan. City is Sikar. Fourth column is the center, Gurukul International School. Total 715 students appeared in this center. Rank within first 56,000 is 101 students. The success ratio is 14.13. And rank within 10 lakh 80,000, 1 lakh 88,000 is 152. Their success rate is 21.26%. But this is again without considering the reservation. If we count the reservation, it would be perhaps, my lord, half. Subject to, my lord, this 101 or 152 also may have some candidates who are entitled to the benefit of reservation. Similarly, next is, my lord, Polkaji Shikshan Sansthan. Success rate is 20.9.
Totally in Sikar, in the 56,000, how many students and how many percent?
My lord, percentage center-wise is on the last column. Lord, yeah, total, your lordship, is page 28. Your lordships have seen page 28. The success rate is 19.22.
Right. Sikar is 19.22.
22. But please see, my lord, the previous year, 19.19.
Total is 11.99 and 19.22.
Your lordships are at page?
So 11.99% in the first 56,000 government seats.
Yes.
And 19.22 in the 52,000 seats.
Yes. In 1,08,000.
Oh, that is in 1,08,000.
Yes, of course. But your lordships asked me the total in Sikar city. That is at page 28, your lordships have seen.
Right, that I saw. I saw it later.
It is 19.22. Last year it was 19.19. Slight increase. And in 2022, it was 24.0. So it has decreased year by year.
Here, my lord, 6,016 students appeared from Sikar, and for 600, there were 4,000.
I'm giving everything, Mr. Hegde.
Right. Mr. Solicitor, This year, 27,216 students are page 52.
52, my lord. That's exactly what figures
People
have.
in the 56,000 were 3,262, which is 11.99%.
Will be
And
with
in the total, 1,08,000, 5,232.
32.
About 19%.
So about 19.22%.
When this plea has been raised, it's something.
So, but I'll say that as guardedly as possible. Lord, when the CBI tells your lordships in a status report that according to us, this is only two places where this incident happened, Lord, it is always preceded by the interrogation. My lord, interrogation, your lordships are aware, my lord, is an effective method where initially, my lord, they are separately interrogated. They say A, B, C, D, E points individually. Then they are confronted. They say A, B, C, D, E individually. Some of the students are also, my lord, interrogated. And eventually, my lord, based upon several factors, my lord, it is the conclusion that right now the beneficiary figure would not cross 115.
155, no?
55, sorry, 155.
Yes.
Now, kindly see, my lord, the way in which, my lord, these people operate. First, as my lord Justice Pardiwala very rightly observed, they are novices, my lord. They are not, my lord, in the game. They are not big players in the game, which is, my lord, proved from the fact that at least 10 to 15 pages of the paper they could not even burn fully. Otherwise, we would not have been anywhere. Without that, my lord, unburnt or half-burnt paper, we would have been nowhere. Second, their modus operandi is very clear. Not to permit transmission to more than those who have already committed. They were taking charges. The charge is not a correct word, but the money was to be recovered in 3 tranches. First installment was paid. Then second and third was by way of the post-dated checks.
Yes.
They did not transmit papers even to the solvers. The solvers were brought to the center, to the hotel, and we have, my lord, the hotel register is, my lord, recovered. They have given their identity proofs whenever, my lord, a person goes to a hotel. Everything is recovered. So their presence there on a particular day is established. They were called there. They also say that we were asked to keep our mobiles out, and they solved the papers, gave to one person who transmitted to them. So their modus operandi is, the entire thing, my lord, appears to be
Yes.
confined to this particular area, these 2 particular centers.
Yes.
And, my lord, we have been able to identify, my lord, several persons, several accused in the sense, my lord, I don't like the word accused also being used for the children, but beneficiaries. My lord, none of them are getting admission anywhere, which leads to an inevitable conclusion.
Yes.
155.
We have been able to identify 35 odd. Others we are in the process.
Yeah, you have able to identify how many students totally up to now?
32. They are not, my lord, they are not getting admission. The report says so, my lord.
The list of 1,08,000 or just overall in 23.5?
No, 23 point something. Most of them are not in the list of 1,08,000. Now, only thing that would happen is they would be debarred for future also, depending upon what NEET jail. But this year that is out of question. Lord, page 120, page 22, para 52 is the chart of some candidates identified then. This is the part of the first report. Lord, none of them are falling within this. Why I'm showing this one. The purpose is to satisfy our lordships that the accused and our corroborated by our findings that they got only 2 hours to mug up the questions is reflected in the result they got. Whoever, my lord, is identified, there are only 2 who have crossed 573 and 581. 570 is the 577. They've just made to manage to. Some of them have got 111. Please see, my lord, page 22. So maybe, my lord, the student was intrinsically good.
2 students crossed.
Pardon, my lord?
You said 2 students crossed 573.
My lord, if your lordships can come to page 22 of the first report, so that I may be, my lord, accurate. It for 3 students, my lord. This is what, my lord, as on that date we found, my lord, these beneficiaries.
Page 23.
Yes, my lord. 581, my lord, first is 581, I am not naming anyone. Then 531, 483, 300, 296, 185, 338, 573, 581. This is second, my lord, 581, who crosses 577. And that's it, my lord. There are only 2 who cross, otherwise 111, 431. So they got 2
There are
hours.
three, no? There's first one is 581, then there's one 573 and one 581.
577 is required, my lords, for being in the 1,08,000.
Right, sir. So 581, we have one candidate.
And 2 with 581, my lords.
Yes.
So, my lord, my respectful submission is that unlike, my lord, the judgment which your lordships have been, my lord, assisted with yesterday, please see, my lord, the judgment. Before I come to the next point, my lord, I'll come to the judgment a little later, but I'll just point out, my lord, one more fact. The students on this side, left side, my learned friends' clients, they are also ultimately children. Most of them
Yes.
like all of us, my lord, were misled by the fact that one telegram channel was showing that this is the question paper uploaded on 4th itself. Lordships would recall, my lord.
Yes.
Telegram, your lordships must be aware, it's like an app. It's like WhatsApp. Telegram, WhatsApp, there is some other also. Signal. It's like, my lord, Telegram is less used, but it's an app.
What about the Telegram thing?
Yes, my lord. That's very interesting, my lord. And how, my lord, we can use or abuse the digital format, my lord, for creating a havoc in the country. My lord, please take report number 3. Report number 3. Lord, I can tell, my lord, first of all, orally to your lordships. I'll not explain, my lord, how we get this, because I can, my lord, give it in a for your lordship's consumption, but one of our officers, my lord, joined this group and got this, my lord. Anyway, we'll not go into that. Kindly come to page 10 of the 3rd report, and I'll demonstrate this, my lord. This was, your lordships have page 10.
Yes.
My lord, Justice Mishra.
Yes.
Lord, this is the original version. It was uploaded, the question paper is uploaded on 6th of May, oblique 7th of May, in the night of 6th of May, my lord. They created the channel on March 6, after the exam. I'm sorry, May 6. And uploaded something on 7th,
The account itself was created on the 6th.
on 6th, uploaded something on 7th, and they could manipulate to show
Uploading was on 7th, is it?
yes, my lords. 001 hours, my lord,
Where do you get that?
at the foot. 00.01. The last para, my lord, just above the image, comprising 12 images that included question number 1 to 76 and 121 to 129. The uploading began at 1 a.m., 0.01 a.m. and concluded at 5 a.m. on May 7th. But if your lordship sees the screenshots at page 9, please come to page 9. No, not page 9, no, page 8, 7 and 8. It would show that it is uploaded on 4th of May.
And what is uploaded is the same question, is it?
Same.
But
Uploaded on 7th.
does it have the same serial number?
The serial number, that's my lord, another, your lordship put a very interesting question.
The serial number.
My lord, the serial number should have been here. That is also masked by the person who uploaded it on 7th. The question paper serial.
What is on the previous page, that
Yes.
screenshot on the previous page,
Yes.
that says May 4, right? May
They
4.
say May 4. Lord, something which is uploaded on 7th in a channel created on 6th
Yes.
can be shown as having been uploaded on 4th, and we can demonstrate that. In this very case, if your lordship permits, I have the laptop. Because the students must know that
Let us see that.
if my lord, if the DIG can, my lord,
Yes, yes.
come and, my lord, explain to your lordships, my lord. He had explained this to me yesterday. And, my lord, your lordships can give me a piece of, not to me, I'm not, I'm technologically my lord, challenged, but otherwise, I can have a piece of paper today, upload in your lordship's presence and show it as having been uploaded 3 days later. It's that risky a technology. Go through peacefully and explain orally also. 7. On this, my lord, please come to second status report and the conclusions. Based upon your lordships have, my lord, seen the entire, all the three reports. I am not troubling your lordships with this, my lord, but your lordships would, my lord, with respect, my lord, agree that it is a very scientific investigation, and based upon the interrogation of the accused and other, my lord, antecedent facts, these are the two conclusions which will assist your lordships so far as the present purpose is concerned, my lord. At page 13, second report, conclusion number 113.7. No evidence has come on record that the solved paper was circulated in any form randomly, except the 4 locations mentioned above. There is no evidence of any other location so far. The total number of candidates who got benefited from the stolen paper are around 155, around 30 in Patna, and around 125 in Hazaribagh. This is for the purpose of, my lord, segregation, that whether segregation is possible or not, my lord. Your lordships may also, my lord, be assisted by para 11 of the report, my lord, which is at page, I'm sorry, that may not be necessary, my lord. We have shown 2 figures, my lord. My lord, two pictures. Please, my lord, have a look at how the, you have shown that the position of the bag was different. No, my lord, I can show, my lord, it was not shown by my lord. Please come to page 11 of the second report. Page 11 of the second report. Well, just to show that this was done on 5th morning, apart from the CCTV footage we have, well, this is what the position of 2 trunks was in this particular institution. Image of the location of 2 trunks in the control room at OSS school at 7:53 a.m. on 5/5/24 when the front door was locked. This is image taken from the CCTV footage. Both are, my lord, connected to each other. Correct, my lords? Now, next page, my lords. Image of the 2 trunks at the control room of the OSS school at 1 p.m. on 5/5/24 when the officials went to open the 2 trunks before the examination. Both have changed their positions, my lord, and there is a tablecloth is also moved. My lord, this is to satisfy your lordships that this is the theft which happened between 8:02 to 9:23, because that is corroborated by the CCTV footage.
Yes.
Lord, just see, my lord, how your lordships have dealt with this, my lord. And I'll come to the last point. Lord, this judgment in case of Tanvi Sarwal, Lord, your lordships, my lord, latest judgment of my lord, the Chief Justice, my lord, is there, where your lordships have discussed all the judgments. But, my lord, only few of the paragraphs of this judgment Here, the investigating agency came to a conclusion that the paper was leaked and paper traveled through several states. Lord, if your lordships can take this, 2015, volume 6 SCC, page 573. I'll not read the entire report, my lord, which was placed before the court then, when this issue was decided. Some CBSE examinations, my lord, some 2 lakh odd students. Now, your lordships may kindly see page 587. Just giving my lord a flavor of what investigative report was before the court. Just below classitum D, after my lord the italics, the above mentioned 44 beneficiaries appeared in the examination at various centers spread across the country. Out of this, 15 candidates appeared at Siliguri, district Darjeeling, West Bengal, 11 in Rohtak, Haryana, 4 appeared at Ajmer, Rajasthan, 3 appeared at Delhi, 3 appeared at Jamshedpur, etc. Then para 6. That from the investigation conducted so far, it has been revealed beyond doubt that the network of this organized gang was spread across different parts of the country. Beneficiaries so-and-so and so-and-so were already arrested so-and-so. Thereafter, again, my lord, the court says, then kindly see at page, similar, my lord, facts, my lord, where details are given, that it was an all India scam as per the report of the investigation. Here, my lord, the report, without any, my lord, reservation, say that so far we have found that these are the only beneficiaries. Of course, my lord, if some new name surfaces, his result would be subject to the outcome. But the question, my lord, which is for your lordship's consideration is that based upon a mere apprehension, which is not based upon any concrete evidence, would your lordships consider compelling or rather requiring 23 lakh odd students, painting them with the same brush as if all are guilty?
Yes.
When, my lord, the investigation has categorically reported before your lordships that we believe that this is at these 4 places. And that analysis is corroborated by the IIT report. I don't wish to take your lordships to the IIT report, my lord. Would your lordships like to be assisted with that?
Not necessary.
Not necessary, my lord. It is also corroborated.
You have seen the IIT report.
Yes.
They've taken us.
It says the same, that the pattern is same. It's not an all India phenomena where there is any sudden spurge. And more particularly, my lord, the thing which convinces us, my lord, is that their modus operandi is very clear: to select people, go to them personally.
To
Yes.
understand one thing, is there any forensic evidence that the telegram paper was in the same form and pattern as the paper which was leaked out?
It must have been,
Just ask your,
you can answer that.
any forensic comparison of the two papers were made or not?
Where the paper which was posted on Telegram on 7th or 4th, leave it right now.
Leave the date,
Huh?
just the forensic.
Leave the date. Whether it was the same question paper which was used in this examination, that's the question, my lord.
They're not the same. Whether it was in the same pattern, that same font was used, same structure of the questions were there, or it was in a different format or different pattern. Questions may be the same.
I think, my lord, from the he can answer, my lord, directly, but my instructions were that while uploading it, the
No,
middle part
This
was.
question is being put for only one reason.
Yes, my lord.
If it's a leaked out paper which has been posted on the Telegram, then matter ends. If it's an information which is independent of the leaked out paper, then it's serious.
Correct, Manoj. What has happened is,
So therefore, is there any forensic comparison of the two or not?
question paper comes to the candidate in a logical.
Candidate would be getting from the same press. So the fonts and the pattern would be identical. The question numbers may vary, the answers may vary,
Yes, sir.
but the font and structure would be the same.
It is the same.
So the question which was there in the public domain as a leaked out paper, whether it matches with the one which is there on the telegram. That is the question.
The question paper is of the question paper of this examination in the same font, I think. There is no.
Is there a report and examination of that or not?
No.
Whether any effort was done to that extent?
Any forensic report is there? Any telegraph contains the same font, this, that, and others. Is there any forensic report on that? There is none. We must take it, Manoj. But otherwise, Manoj, what yesterday, Manoj, we will have to rule, absolutely. But otherwise, Manoj, what I was told is that it is the same paper which was given by a student.
No, because you see, the telegram, which is the photograph of that paper is there on in your report.
Yes, Manoj.
It doesn't matches with the one which is there in the case diary report. Not only in the font pattern, but also in the, as far as numbers are concerned.
Page 11. Page 11, Manoj. Your lordships are comparing it with.
That booklet again, please.
Which one?
Which we handed it over. The answer sheet, sorry, the question paper.
The question paper. Is it again back? For your lordship sees that. After examination was over, some student
He
gives
will be carrying the papers.
gives it to either uploads himself or gives it to someone, and with a view to hide his identity.
They must have masked the number. But whether the font pattern, the structure
Must
pattern.
be same. Must be.
That has to be forensically examined.
Yes, Manoj, that should have been done, and we will do
The
that.
students retain the question paper after the.
They always retain, but they are supposed to give the OMR sheet back and take the paper out. Otherwise, Manoj, it would be easy to trace the person, track the person. So it may not match, Manoj, because of the jumbling. But it may not match because of the series being different.
So that the questions are jumbled, the order is changed.
Yes, it may not match,
It
but
cannot be done by us. It has to be forensically done.
certainly, it will be done, Manoj, by today itself. It would be sent. I can make a statement. My Lord, my last submission, Lord, I respectfully rely upon your Lord, my Lord, the Chief Justice's judgment in 2021, Volume 4, SCC 631. I'll not read.
2021.
Volume 4, SCC 631. Lord, this was also use of unfair means My lords were pleased to, my lord, consider the case law on the subject and, my lord, observe at page para 56. And I would rely upon respectfully on the last part, but I'll read that para. The decision in railway recruitment, etc., all go to emphasize that a recruiting authority is entitled to take a bona fide view based on the material before it, that the entire process stand vitiated, as a result of which a fresh selection process should be initiated. The integrity of the selection process cannot be lightly disregarded by the High Court, substituting its own subjective opinion on the sufficiency of the material which has been taken into account by the decision-making authority. Undoubtedly, fairness to candidates who participate in the process is an important consideration. There may be situations where candidates who have indulged in irregularities can be identified, and it is then possible for the authority to segregate the tainted from the untainted candidates. Now, please note this, my lords were pleased to say this. On the other hand, there may be situations where the nature of the irregularities may be manifold and the number of candidates involved is of such a magnitude that it is impossible to precisely delineate or segregate the tainted from the untainted. A considered decision of the authority based on the material before it, taken bona fide, should not lightly be interfered in the exercise of powers of judicial review unless it stands vitiated on the grounds of unreasonableness or proportionality. And, my lord, the decision-making process, my lord, I have shown to your lordships, it matches pan-India. There is no spurge. It matches earlier year and the year before that. And even the investigation suggests a localized, identifiable irregularities, my lord. And therefore, your lordships may not, my lord, exercise the judicial review. That's the respectful submission. Last, my lord. My lord, last, the question, my lord, that wrong and right question. My lord, I have also received several mails from unknown people, and I don't wish to rely upon it, but the common thing, my lord, common thread which is coming is that there are old books which are available. The old books contain a wrong answer, but in the NCERT book.
But your instructions say that students must go by the latest edition, right?
No, my lord, the instruction says that, give me that in case of dispute, both the marks to be counted. Guidelines, my lord. Give me the guidelines, sir. Yes, sir. My lord, page 70 of my affidavit in Vanshika Yadav.
Yeah, there's one correct answer here. How can we have, and you know, the thing is, option 2 and option 4, there may be a situation where the question is ambiguous and possibly both may be correct answers, logically speaking, in a given case, that you have 4 options. Option 2 may possibly be a correct answer. Option 4 may also is really the correct answer, but option 2 is also so ambiguously framed that it may also be correct. In a given example, here, if you look at the answers, each of them excludes the other. Each of them excludes the other.
Let's see. I'm just making an attempt.
Let's just see that. IIT director ka de do.
My lord, if your lordship sees the question, my lord, for a second, it's a trick question, my lord. I won't say, my lord, it's a ambiguous question. It's a trick question.
Yes.
Statement 1, we can, I may not read. 2, again, I may not read.
Yes.
Now, see the question. In light of the above statements, choose the most appropriate answer from the options given below. No, not the correct answer. Which is the most appropriate? There, my lord, possibility of 2 and 4 both being correct.
But see, option 2 is both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct. 4 says statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect. So both can't coexist together.
I understand. One rules out the other.
Yes,
I cannot defend, my lord, something which is not, but, my lord, kindly appreciate, my lord, the wrong answer published by NCERT book since years.
Now, just for factual clarity, the wrong answer is option 2. We are taking it as option 2, though in our order.
It may be.
We will just mention the question because, you know, the question number, etc. may be jumbled.
Jumbled, yes.
So I'm not sure the options are jumbled also. Options may not be jumbled, right?
The options are also jumbled.
Right, so, so we will just, so that there is no.
Better to
factor.
quote the.
We'll just quote the question. Now tell us one thing, what, the option 2 appeared as an answer in which NCERT edition?
Yes, my lord. My lord, that appeared.
Your Lordship, prior to 2019. In 2019, the edition has been changed.
No, my lord, that appears to be not a very correct information. My lord, my information is up to 21, it continued. But subject to, my lord,
Your
my
Lordship,
lord, if some student can come, my lord, the old question, old wrong answer, till what time it continued in NCERT book? Till 22.
Revised edition came in November.
Yes, well, the revised edition came in November 22. But one of the student wrote me a mail that before that we have already started preparing.
Your
Revised
Lordship,
edition came in?
what Mr. Tushar Mehta is saying, what my case is, I started preparing in 9th grade itself, from 2020 onwards. So I bought all these books in 2020 itself. I have a copy of edition in my petition I have annexed that 2019 had the same statement, which was revised in 2019 October, and thereafter in 2023 as well. The same statement has come into being.
I think what we should do is, we should not, honestly, we should not go by the edition and all that. We will go by the correct answer. Now, suppose a student, let's take an extreme case. Let's take a case where the latest NCERT edition gives a wrong answer. But a student who has prepared well gives you a correct answer. Will we give that student?
I get, my lord, what your lordship are calling from your lord. But, my lord.
IIT tells us what is the correct answer.
No,
Your Lordship, the idea is
but
to have
only a minute.
correct knowledge on the subject matter, Your Lordship.
Only a minute,
Yes,
ma'am.
yes, ma'am.
Lord, at the same time.
Look, yesterday we referred it to IIT with your, with your consent ultimately.
No, I consented, my lord, not.
Let's go by the IITs. They are
The respectful submission is this, my lord, and I leave it at that, that those who relied upon an authorized text of NCERT and, my lord, given the option accordingly, my lord, should also not get the my lord, disadvantage of that.
No, Mr. Mehta, the question here is not about the correct question, rote learning. You have to have the fundamentals clear. So far as an unstable atom is concerned, it has to be a radioactive element. Then it becomes unstable. Otherwise, protons, neutrons, and
Lord, I am
valid.
not joining
So
issue.
being a science student, I'm a little bit aware of it.
The matter
The
ends, my lord,
answer is so
ends
clear.
there.
If anybody has his fundamentals clear, he will answer it. So if he is bound only reading textbooks which are incorrect, he will render incorrect answer.
And though we gave the director time until 12, before 10 o'clock we had it on our table
He
report.
would
Because
not
they
have
must
taken more than
the
2
experts
minutes.
must have taken probably 10 seconds to answer the question.
But my lord, the persons who will be affected would be around 4,22,000.
Your Lordship, but that also has to be considered. How many of them are within 1,08,000, Your Lordship?
No, everyone would be. They may come, they may go out. We do not know how will.
Your Lordship, the inflation itself is the big bug in this entire examination, Your Lordship, due to only this question marking. Oh, 290. 256 or something.
This report, I tell you.
Was given by 9,28,379 students. So the larger proportion were all giving the correct answer. Option 2 was given by 4,20,000.
Your Lordship, the challenge was made by less than 0.6% of students who
My lord,
challenged this question.
basically, my lord, my lord, without going into which answer is correct, my lord, treating 4 to be correct. Lord, Lord,
Which,
Lord, only one last request, only one last. Lord, Lord, question number 4 is the correct answer.
Professor, just wait till for you to wrap up for a minute. We'll not close your argument right now. Let's just hear,
Yes.
because that's the perspective of students that others are, who lose to lose, who stand
Your
to lose
Lordship.
by marks. So let's see what,
Please.
Mr. Solskjaer, don't, just keep your thought with you so
Yes,
that we'll hear you up.
if I may circulate a note. The main argument here is this applicant, she is AIR 1. She is scoring 720 out of 720. While attempting this question, she was faced with two situations. There's a tabular chart, Manoj, on the second page.
Repeat that you are.
If she would not have attempted the
She
question,
is ranked number 1.
rank number 1, 720 out of
720 out of 720.
Yes. If she would not have attempted the question, it would have been -4 for her. So she would have ended up scoring 716. If current situation is executed, now if the current choice is treated as incorrect, that will be -5 for her. So this will be 715. So now she is in a peculiar situation where she will end up getting even lesser. If she would not have attempted the question, she would have been at 715. Well, the second difficulty is that in the information bulletin, there's no whisper at all of the fact that there's some new NCERT book which is to be referred. And the old NCERT book is very well on the website also. Because we have made an argument that the rules of the game cannot be changed in between. If Melod's may see one judgment, 2011-10 SCC 51. Melod, it's the rules of the game, if I may just read the relevant part.
Instruction that if there is a dispute regarding the answer, then the answer given in the NCERT will be treated as correct. Is there any instruction of that nature?
Melod, as per...
So is there any such instruction? No. So the answer has to be correct on principles.
One more thing, very sorry. One very important thing, in the FAQs which they release, post declaration, what do they say? This was also done as a policy mentioned in the information book bulletin of the NEET UG 2024. That is, now see, this is very important. if more than one option is found to be correct, then 4 marks plus 4 will be awarded to only those who have marked any of the correct options. So this
Yes.
applies in a situation, Tanvi, where 2 answers are found to be correct.
Yes.
If 2 options are found to be correct, then if you adopt any one of them, you will get plus 4. This is not a case where option 2 is correct. Only option 4 is correct.
Well, we are saying that as per option, there are 2 options which are jumbled in each set. So if both statement 1 and 2 are correct, and the today's version of the answer, as per this expert opinion, either or will be treated as correct if there's an ambiguity. Well, our respectful submission is that if in case of this ambiguity, if now
I
plus
was saying that she will make it to AIMS Delhi.
yes, Manoj.
She will not go to AIMS Delhi, but someone,
And
you take it from us that, we are as sympathetic as anybody else because we realize that. But also there's not a situation where there's an element of ambiguity also, you see. There's not even an element of ambiguity.
My lords, may I just make a
ambiguity is in the information bulletin. And in fact, this book is still now it's on the website. The ambiguity lies there that if there were instructions and this applicant.
That's still on the website, is it?
Well, even civil services examinations, the students rely on NCL. It's considered to be standard. My Lord Justice Mishra is right. There is no instruction that you can read only NCL.
Right.
My lords,
For a minute and then we'll go back to the solicitor to wrap up.
yes, my lord, just the argument on principle. Let's assume that we don't want anyone to be disadvantaged. My lords, we want to consider what might be an overall solution over here. My lords, we're testing a competitive exam. We want to test everyone on the same basis. The version of keeping this the same, the best way would be to remove this question at all. Because then what happens is that in a competitive exam,
You didn't answer it.
Your Lordship, the candidates who have answered it wrongly will be benefited of that negative marking, Your Lordship.
no, they won't get the negative marking. That's the advantage. The negative marking won't affect them then. That's the advantage. No, the question is removed. Just one, yeah.
Just, Mr. Solicitor, talk to your directors here, right?
Yes.
You can ask him, we'd like your assistance on this. What if we do this? See, with the IIT report now, it's staring us in the face. Now, can we, in our order, assuming we are not setting aside the whole exam, if we are setting aside the whole exam, all this is irrelevant. Then of course the whole exam goes. But assuming that they are wrong and assuming you are right on the whole exam, which we will take a follow-on shortly. What if we say that, look, only option number 4 will be the correct option, but for anybody who answered option 2, there'll be no negative mark.
That appears to be.
What do you think? Just talk to Dr. Kamakoti and the director.
No, he is the director,
IIT.
IIT, my Lord. Your Lordship wants me to.
So just or talk to the director, NT only.
NT.
In this regard, can I make a submission, Lords?
This one.
If
I will get you.
But I am for a petitioner wherein one student has scored 720.
4 is correct. Obviously.
720 and he has selected option 2.
2.
You have selected
Option
like Tanvi.
Like, so my lords, what I am informed that they have purchased the books in June 22.
Also. But he
Till June 22, the same book was there, which was having the option 2 as the correct answer.
That's why what we are suggesting is that we will not give an additional negative mark.
But 4 marks.
But I think, my Lord, it's reasonable, my Lord, so with profound respect, my Lord, Lordship may ensure that it does not become a precedent. Otherwise, for every question, there can be a litigation, and I am appearing in some of the matters, my Lord, where, no, not in this exam, their questions and answers are disputed.
Each mark.
If there is this exam is for elimination and bringing out the best student for the best profession in the country, Your Lordship.
That's what I think. It will not be harm.
Anything more? Anything more? Or you now?
No, only one, my lord. There was a faint but attempt to allege bias IIT Director Madras. We have filed an affidavit that he has never attended any of the meeting. He is member of the general body of NTA.
IIT Madras is a member of the general body of the
General body which takes a policy call.
not coordinating the exam this year.
No, it has nothing to do. But in any case, he asked somebody else to come. We have a composition where whichever.
You said Gopal Krishnan had come. Right?
Yes, we have filed an affidavit to that effect. Kindly take that on record. And what we do is, as per composition, whichever IIT has organized JEE exam last year is our member to gain their experience. So last year was IIT Madras, therefore he is.
They came into this.
Therefore he came in.
Oh,
Our affidavit, my lord, is.
You are in the
He
same.
attended only one meeting, I'm sorry, I stand corrected, in December 22. But general body meeting for overall accounts, etc., not for conducting examination.
Yes.
My Lordship.
But I'm appearing for a petitioner. There are 56 petitioners from Gujarat. All are right students. So what I've tried to do is I've shared one written submission yesterday.
So you have all got, how many have got 720 out of that? You don't want a retest, you want a retest?
We don't want a
You don't want a retest?
Most of the petitioners have been selected, they have scored more than 650. And I'm also appearing for 6 intervention applications wherein 50 applicants are there. Out of those,
then we have heard that now the solicitor has argued for your line of.
just only one point, because everything, the data and the facts are before my lords. The only thing is that we have tried to make a written submission where we have tried to establish the background of all those candidates.
That's all right.
10th, 12th and everything, because they
are not saying
consistent.
Fair
It's not only NEET.
You can't go into individual backgrounds because you know that.
What I'm trying to say is that not only NEET they have performed well, but there is an exam of good set. Even in those exams, they have topped.
Fair enough. Yes, Mr. Lodha.
Wait, please, Lordship.
My Lordship, if I may.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Sir, I have a very limited purpose, sir. I seek to represent students belonging to tribal, rural, and basically remote areas and EWS categories from Madhya Pradesh. They are being represented by a socially minded teacher. She's a medical professor, sir. Sir, the issue here is that we face is that these students, some of them come from very remote areas, some are even Naxal regions. For them to access an exam center or even sit for a test once is a very expensive exercise, leave alone doing it again. Some of them have even qualified and they have been seeking assistance from professors and guidance during the ongoing litigation. All we request is that if a retest is ordered, these students may kindly be either exempted or some sort of exception may be made for the process to be eased for them, sir, where their prior scores may stand in case.
Ma'am, if we order a retest, we can't create an exception. Then logically we will be incorrect.
My lords,
Either we do it, we have to use the same yardstick for everybody. the fact that there may be students like your candidates coming from tribal areas, poor students who will have to go through the entire process, may be a ground not to order a retest. But if you order a retest, then we can't start creating exceptions. Then there'll be our judgment will be very vulnerable. We then have to apply one cut across then.
My lords, in that case, I seek my lord's permission to assist my lords with the
Therefore,
judgment.
your first point that we take it as a point that, ordering a retest
Sir,
will substantially prejudice students, especially students coming from the poorer backgrounds, marginalized backgrounds,
Sir.
like your client. That point we took.
sir, with your permission, if I may put forth my lord's observation in Sachin Kumar versus DSSB, which learned solicitor sir presented. So basically, by your lordship's principle, these students are obviously not beneficiaries of any paper leaks. And if they are put on the same yardstick as the wrongdoers, then it will be a violation of Article 14. That is my lordship's observation in the matter.
Point the learned solicitors.
And such an exception has been made by the judicature of Patna in Bihar STET leak few
Create
years
an
back.
exception only because, because then you belong to, say, tribal students. There may be Dalit students. There may be OBC students who also come from a very underprivileged background. Then where do we draw the line? There may be disabled students. Drawing a line becomes very difficult for the court, becomes a little arbitrary. So,
I would seek your
but
consideration.
We've seen your first point. We'll
My lords.
take it.
Obliged.
Thank you. What's your name, ma'am?
Tanushri Bhalla. Obliged.
With your Honor's permission, may I just make a submission? Your Honor, I will take less than 10 seconds. I am appearing in IA number 140274 of 2024 in the lead matter. My Lord, I adopt the submissions which have been made by other contestants. I am also appearing for an applicant who has secured 658 and he is opposing the conduct of re-NEET. He opposes scrapping of the exam. The important thing why I am addressing the Honorable Court is, my Lord, that there have been instances where unsuccessful candidates have approached high courts, sought orders against the NT, and the high courts have judicially determined that such prayers are being made on the basis of forged and fabricated documents. And in my IA, my Lord, I have appended the order passed by the Honorable Allahabad High Court on 18th of June. When a petitioner approached the High Court, he sought scrapping and all those reliefs, stay of counseling. The NTA appeared, produced original documents of the candidate. And it was eventually then the petitioner's counsel sought to withdraw the petition. And the High Court was kind enough not to penalize the student for filing fabricated documents. So, my Lord, the only submission is that this entire exercise, bona fide students are suffering. And some...
Your point.
Thank you.
Lord,
Yes, Mr.
basic principle which has been laid down by this Honorable Court is, if there is a leak, Lord, in this case, leak is admitted. If after the leak,
We excuse for 10 minutes.
Yes.
Lord, after the leak has happened, and the leak was done by the gang head, Lord, who has not been arrested, Sanjeev Mukhia. What is there in public domain, the CBI has not brought it on record. This Sanjeev Mukhia, who is yet to be arrested, is involved at least in 5 major paper leak cases in UP, Haryana, Rajasthan. Lord, these are the news items. Lord. It is to be verified by them. He has not been arrested. The moment, Lord, it is established that leak has happened, dissemination is through WhatsApp mode. The handiwork of a gang operating in different states. Now, Government of India taking a firm stand that the leak is now the beneficiaries of the leak are confined only in Hazaribagh and Patna. And this confidence emanates from only and only one fact, that the accused in custody so far have said that the leak is confined to Patna and Hazaribagh. Patna police, when records 161 statement of the accused, they talk of leak prior to the date of examination. This is also 161. Subsequent 161 statement recorded by CBI probably indicates that the leak is on that date of the examination. Now, my Lord, when the CBI officer was talking to this Honorable Court, his expression, as I could gather, was that so far we have not been able to recover the mobile phones through which this dissemination happened. So we cannot say with confidence that this dissemination happened only in Patna and Hazaribagh and not beyond that. So unless, my lord, because after the leak has happened, the question paper is sold and there is sufficient time, even if the leak has happened on 5th, then, my lord, this honorable court ultimately, if sustains this examination, will have to record, in my view, a satisfaction on the basis of the material before this honorable court that we are able to segregate tainted from the untainted, and this satisfaction let this. Admittedly planning 2-3 months before by a gang. CBI officer specifically used very cautiously the word that so far we have not gone beyond Patna and Hazaribagh. CBI is not so novice that they will accept the statement of the accused arrested so far and close the investigation from the angle that whether it has gone beyond Patna and Hazaribagh. It is an evolving situation. The day we came first time before this honorable court for the writ petition, because mine was the first writ petition, we didn't know anything. Besides the fact that there were news items that there is a leak in Patna. Now, the main accused has not been arrested. Now, I would say the confidence with the learned Solicitor General to say that it is confined only and only to Hazaribagh and Patna is completely baseless. Investigation is going on. Can they file an affidavit that henceforth there would be no investigation to see whether it has gone beyond? If today the judgment come tomorrow, this Sanjeev Mukhia is arrested along with the mobile, which would show that he had sent it for 200 people in Sikar or different stations. I got to know that from Patna people have gone to Muxar, Punjab to give a paper. And if here they say 4 locations they have been able to find. Suppose there are 100 more locations involving only, say, 1,000 people involved into 20 centers. How many people would those figures, if all of them have got, all of them will not be topping, all of them will not get 720.
So would I just assist us on one aspect? If the court cancelled the examination today, on the hypothesis that investigation is not complete, the main conspirator is yet to be arrested.
That's right.
And there may be a possibility, we can't say likelihood,
Correct.
but a possibility that in some future point of time, maybe even a foreseeable future, the leak may not be only confined to these 2
Correct.
cases.
That's right.
But should the court, in a situation like this where 23 lakh students have appeared, and we are dealing with the welfare of students across the country, and that's the worrisome part. Look at it this way, both ways. Let's put it 1 second. Let's put it both ways. We can't today. You are right, absolutely, that we can't say that the leak. We can't enter a judicial finding that the leak is confined only to Hazaribagh and Patna.
Correct.
For the reason that the investigation is ongoing.
That's right.
Even CBI can't tell us that. Today, as of now, it is confined to Hazaribagh and Patna. CBI's investigation in the next 15 days or 10 days might reveal a different, an evolving picture.
10 more locations.
So, we also, on the one hand, can't say that the leak is confined only to Hazaribagh and Patna. Equally, we can't today say with any degree of even prima facie authenticity or substance that the leak has gone beyond Hazaribagh and Patna in such a widespread or a systemic manner as to completely affect the sanctity of the entirety of the exam. That also we cannot say. Therefore, I asked that's why we want your assistance. Can the court, or would the court be justified in a situation like the one present to say that not on the basis of material which we have today, but on the hypothesis that some material in the future may show that the leak had gone beyond Hazaribagh and Patna. Therefore, today we cancel the exam on the basis of a hypothesis.
May I answer, my lord?
May not happen in future.
May I answer?
No.
When I speak,
Matthew,
when I wanted to
please
speak, your lordship prevents me.
You please sit down.
No, I'm among the lawyers here, I am the senior most.
Sorry, you're not an amicus. I have not appointed.
No, I am appearing for 16 students.
Right.
When I wanted to speak, the Honorable Chief Justice prevent me from speaking.
Mr. Matthew,
And I have an answer.
He is arguing. You will not interrupt him when he's
I am not interrupting, but I have an answer to say. I have an answer to give.
You don't answer my question. He is answering the question.
Okay, then, but it's a general question. It's a general
not
question.
telling you he's on his
No,
left.
I'm not interested in the
He is on
engagement
his
with the
leg.
Honorable Chief Justice, but I wanted to say,
You please sit down. I'll have to have you removed from the court. You please sit down. I'm warning you. I'll have to have you removed from
no,
the
your
court.
Lordship doesn't
Mr. Udo,
respect me.
one second.
My own will leave.
Mr. Matthews, I'm telling you one very simple thing. Mr. Huda is engaged in a.
Your Lordship, I have tried every best not to allow me to speak and put
right,
forward my
you have no
convention.
right to intervene.
I'm not intervening, I'm leaving.
Please, yes.
But one thing is said, I wanted to say, I wasn't allowed to speak.
Yes, Mr.
When I was speaking, your Lordship was showing the other side.
Yes,
And I have only one word to say, only
Yes,
one word
Mr.
leaving,
Mr.
one word to
Matthews,
say.
please call the security people, have him removed from the court, please.
I have only one to say.
You will not say anything. You will not speak to the gallery. You will listen to me. I'm in charge of my courtroom.
Listening.
You just keep quiet now. Yes, Mr. Huda. Yes, Mr. Huda. Yes, Mr. Huda.
I'm leaving.
Yes, Mr. Huda.
Unfair.
Yes, Mr. Huda.
This is not a judicial.
Mr. Matthews, I will now be constrained to issue something which is very unpleasant. Please keep quiet. Sit down here. You want to leave? It's your choice.
I'm leaving. I'm leaving.
You don't have to. You do not have to intervene. You don't have to tell me that you are leaving. Yes.
No, because I sought permission.
See,
I sought permission to speak.
Matthews, you will not interrupt Mr. Huda. I will hear you, but I'll hear you after Mr. Huda is done. I am in charge of procedure in this court, and I've seen the judiciary for the last 24 years. I will not allow any lawyer to dictate the procedure of the court.
I
will give you a full hearing, but after Mr.
All right. I have been seeing judiciary since 1979. Since 79.
May I, my lord,
This is contemptuous.
What you are talking?
My response is, my lord, straight away.
I am leaving.
Issue is no longer res integra.
Yes.
This has been answered in para 20 in Tanvi Sarwal's case.
Yes.
And the proposition is like this. The moment this honorable court finds that there is a paper leak and the fact has been established that it is a paper leak case, in that situation, unless and until the honorable court reaches a firm conclusion that we have been able to identify all the culprits and there is nobody left in the system who has from a back door is entering and becoming a doctor. Unless that satisfaction is recorded, no, this is my proposition for my lord's consideration. The examination cannot be sustained. And here, my lord, not only one fact.
In other words,
Lord, I'm just putting all things together, Lord, in a circle. Let me put all things together in a circle.
Your argument is that unless the court comes to the conclusion today
Correct.
that all the tainted persons are identified as of date, you have to order a rehearing.
Correct. That's my proposition for my lord's consideration.
On it for a moment.
Now, my lord, I put it in a sequence, especially in the effects of this case when the handiwork is of a gang operating interstate. No denying the fact. No denying the fact that the main mastermind is yet to be arrested. No denying the fact that the mobile phones used for dissemination of sold question paper have not been recovered. This, my lord, coupled with the fact which I have pointed out, my lord, the reference, the learned Solicitor General, the analysis did, IIT. NTA in their reply before this honorable court on affidavit says that CBI is investigating the matter. The conclusive opinion as to whether it was a systemic failure or not, that conclusion can be arrived at only after comprehensive analysis of everything. This is their reply of NTA in para 9 of their reply. So they are not sure themselves that whether it is a systemic failure or not. They will come to this conclusion after the CBI investigation.
Yes.
Now, my lord, in Tanvi Sarwal case, my lord, I just want to read 2-3 lines, my lord, for my lord's consideration, para 20. It says, even if one undeserving candidate, my lord, para 20, my lord, just allow me to read 2-3 lines, my lord, para 20. Even if one undeserving candidate, a beneficiary of such illegal machination, though undetected, is retained in the process, it would be a denial of the claim of more deserving candidates. At present, the examination stand denuded of sanctity. Now, my lord, as on today, I would say the whole world is watching. The paper has been leaked by a gang. Investigation is happening. Mobile phones are not recovered. Is there any sanctity left for this examination? Merely the figures are being thrown before this honorable court. Lord, only the figures are being thrown before this honorable court that if re-examination...
figures before the court. We never throw figures.
Yes, Lord. 23 lakh people will be affected. This is way of submission, I believe. Lord, they say that 23 lakh people will be affected. No. Lord, it is not even the first 56,000 people who get the medical colleges. Rest all want a again chance, Lord. When Lord, they are comparing the figures, they are talking of 1,08,000. And everything is being, Lord, their reference sometime to 23 lakh people, sometime to 12 lakh people, sometime to 1,08,000, sometime to 56,000. Sometime they categorize from 663 marks, sometime 550. They are clicking picture wherever they get the best photograph to justify on the data that if we take from this angle, this seems 0.5%, it may be justified. Lord, a leak case where it's not even 1% of the total people who wrote the examination are involved. Not even 1% will be 23,000 people. Even if there are 1,000 people who are beneficiary of this machination, there has to be a retest. So, my lord, we are finding a imbalance in a haystack where there are few needles here and they are inserted into the system. We will not find that imbalance. Now, my lord, I conclude here on a leak that saying that the integrity has actually gone. We can't reach a conclusion that everybody has been identified and rest all are pious people and they should not be bothered any further. Now, my lord, I come to their systemic failure, my lord, which I raised in my second petition. My lord, in my first petition, I came only for leak. My lord, Justice Pardiwala rightly pointed out. We came only for a leak. But, my lord, with the passage of time and this honorable court granted us time. Now, my lord, what we have found is there is absolutely no system in place for conducting this kind of an examination. Taking example of, my lord, Bahadurgarh, where now after flip-flop from yesterday, what they said, they changed 3 statements in the court itself. Now the statement is, with regard to, there were 3 centers. This I'm saying not as an individual instance. This I'm demonstrating that there were no systems in place for conducting this examination. And for this reason also, this examination has to go. If NEET is a patient, it suffers from a multiple organ failure and the patient has to go. Now, talking of Bahadurgarh, they say there are 3 centers in Bahadurgarh. there is only one city coordinator who is authorized to collect paper. Now, for the 2 centers, they say the SBI paper was collected. Given to those 2 centers, there was some delay in distribution. So at what level they took a decision to grant extra time then and there? Who took that decision that there was not all this, like superintendent in Hazaribagh colluded with these accused? All these superintendents and invigilators and the city coordinators are private people. They are charging 2,000, 2,500 from the NTA and performing their job. Now, they are the people on the spot. Are they taking the decision to extend time that in these 2 centers?
That you argued.
Yes, Lord, I'm just rapidly concluding, Lord. These 2 centers, they extended time. Only SBI paper was given. Hardyal School, the curious case. Now, in their note, what they say is that for Hardyal School, the paper distributed amongst the student was both SBI and Canara Bank, both papers were given to the students. Lord, this is what the 2-page note Lord, they have given today. They say at Hardyal School, Jhajjar, initially both set of questions paper were distributed. Lord, what is this system? I fail to understand. Lord. After some time, SBI question paper was withdrawn. Now, who gave these instructions that SBI paper is to be withdrawn? If Lord, SBI paper was the actual paper. If at all, Canara Bank was wrongly distributed, Canara Bank should have been retained. But they say both were given, meaning thereby there is absolutely no sanctity. SBI is withdrawn, Canara is allowed to do. Lord, we have a video on record on which they have not commented the principal of this school, and we have